edge of the chair, feet nice and flat. Roll the shoulders up, back, and down. And just before we start focusing on the breath, just really get grounded in to where your body is. And think of being heavy into the chair, just letting the chair completely support you. Check your knees are right over your ankles and see if you can lift up your toes. So that's even just a little bit of flexibility in there. And then try to place the pinky toe down, the next toe, and the next, one at a time. We're trying to create some space there. And then some pressure into the feet so that, and by doing that, you'll feel that it sort of lifts the spine. Think of, even though we're sitting, we still think of the tailbone tucking under a bit. So instead of arching the back, you're pulling everything in, shoulders right over the hips. And let's just have the arms hanging down, so that gives us that sense of heaviness at first. And close the eyes or gaze down if that's preferable. And right now, just your natural breath. And just feel the heaviness of the tush on the seat, the arms hanging. You can even just think of letting go, let anything roll off the shoulders, down the arms, the fingertips, and spill out onto the floor. And then you can bring the hands to the thighs. Start to come into a more focused breath, breathing in and out the nose. And if you like, you can do the counting. So either 3 or 4 counts with a slight pause between the inhales and the exhales. So for example, inhaling 1, 2, 3, 4, pause. Exhale 4, 3, 2, 1, pause. So just continue with your own count, your own pace. And for this breath, the idea is to try to get the inhales and the exhales to be the same length. And you can keep the eyes closed or open them up. Drop the hands down again. We'll add some movement. Inhale the arms up and overhead. Exhale the hands to the heart. Inhale the palms up. Exhale the arms down. Inhaling up. Exhale, hands to the heart. And I'm getting some text. Normally I would ignore those, but today she said she got dad up in the wheelchair. Okay, so one of the things sometimes I ask you if you'd like to set an intention for your practice or a dedication, and there's so much going on in the world today. So I thought maybe we could collectively just dedicate this practice to the good in people and finding the good in every situation, and finding some peace in our country. But you can't do it. You can't say, I want world peace. You have to find peace within yourself and then spread that to one person, and it just radiates out. So if you like, you can join me in just dedicating that to our practice. And let that go. Send it out. Send it out to the world. And then opening the eyes, and I'm going to do kind of a head to toe kind of theme, I guess, here today. So we're just going to drop the head to the right and focus on keeping the spine long, still pressing a little pressure into the feet, and just dropping the ear to the shoulder. And this is gravity doing the work. Try to keep the left shoulder down and don't let it rise up. And then roll to the center, chin to chest. So top of the stem and the spinal column. And then lift the head up. And then drop it to the left. Same thing. Just dropping it over. Nice stretch in the left side of the neck. Sorry, right side. And then roll it back to the chin to chest. And then lift the head. And now we're just going to turn the head right over the right shoulder. Kind of actively press the left shoulder back. And there's actually eye yoga. So if you like, you can open your eyes wide and look even further with the eyes. And then slowly come back to center and over to the left. Same thing. So looking over the left shoulder, press the right shoulder back, little engagement. And then if you like, look further with the eyes. And then come back to center slowly. We're going to drop the chin to the chest again, keeping long and tall. And now on your next inhale, you're going to lift the chin. So we're not dropping the head, you're just lifting the chin. You can open and close the mouth a couple of times, feel that stretch in the neck and the jaw. And then come back to center and just take a moment. Nice full breath. And then just rolling the shoulders. So we're rolling them forward, up, and back. And when you get forward, think about squeezing the shoulders together, lifting them up, and then squeeze the shoulder blades together. So really exaggerate the movement. Getting all the creaks and cracks. And then reverse it. Squeeze the shoulder blades and then roll forward. And then we're going to lift the shoulders up high, no neck, and then actively drop them down. If that's too much for you, you can just slowly drop, just let them fall. But letting them fall kind of forcefully like this is really good for releasing tension, especially if you're on the computer or you're reading or you just tend to round. This is a nice thing to do. All right, we're going to take fingertips to the shoulders. We've done this one. Inhale left, exhale right. Try to keep the lower body stable. Inhale left, exhale right. And option to go a little quicker if that feels good. If it feels good to stay slow, then go slow. And come back to center. Take cactus arms. We're going to do that same thing. And notice it gets into a different part of the back. A little bit more work to keep the arms up. Inhaling left, exhaling right. And then come back to center. Clasp the hands behind the neck so you're not grabbing, just kind of cradling the lower part of the head. And then we're going to kind of do that cat-cow. So press the shoulders back, press the chest forward, looking up. So your hands are supporting the head. And on the exhale, rounding. So bring the elbows together, scoop out the belly. The inhale lifts you. The exhale rounds. So this is getting into the spine, top to bottom. And take one more round and we'll meet at neutral spine with the hands on the lap. All right, we'll take our feet wide. Going to get into the hips a little bit, but first let's just go side to side. So it's just the upper body moving. Pull in, pull the abs up and in a little bit, and you can feel this working the obliques, the muscles that wrap around. Make sure you're still breathing. And then come back to center, and we'll take those hip circles. So leaning left, forward, right, and back. And again, your own pace. One of my teachers used to always say, this is your yoga. So if everyone's doing this and you feel like doing a different pose, or you feel like modifying it to fit what you need, it's your yoga. So you don't have to do what I'm doing. You can do whatever you want. I'm happy to guide you. All right, the next time we come to the right, we'll just reverse the direction. Getting into the hip crease. Little opening in the hips. And do one more. We'll meet upright. And just take a breath. Let's take the palms up on our thighs. Close the eyes. Take a moment to receive. And then opening the eyes. So we're just going to heel toe the feet into what's called bound to angle or cobbler's pose. So the bottom of your feet are together, knees are open, and you may have to adjust on your chair. Got like a little lip here. So another option is to put your feet on a block, but we're just taking a little bit of opening here. And if it's available, you can just press on the thighs. Think of pressing sort of out and down. So not forceful, but just a little bit of an opening. And then gather the knees in together, bring the feet flat. We're gonna keep the right leg bent, extend the left leg, still sitting up tall. So this might be enough right here, but if you'd like, you can just lean forward just a little bit. We're not going too deep because we're just warming up, but just that little bit of a lean forward with a flat back, you should feel some stretch in the back of the leg. And if you don't, you just go further. So we're not looking to reach for the toes or anything. We're just looking to kind of extend, lengthen that muscle and breathe into it. So pull the toes back, and pulling the toes back engages the leg as well. And then inhale, coming back up, and then just take that out kind of on a diagonal. So adjusting if you need to. So we're not all the way to the side, maybe 45 degrees. And you're gonna, this time hands are in the hip crease and you're leaning forward. So it's a little bit of a different stretch. Yeah. Pull the toes back. Inhale, come up, and you can just take your hand under that knee and bring it back into the center. And we'll extend the right foot, pull the toes back. So pretty hard pull on the toes, and that already engages the leg. And then leaning forward just to where you start to feel that stretch. Imagine that you can breathe into the back of the leg and let it release a little bit. And then inhale, come up, and the same thing over to about 45-degree angle. So the left knee is forward, the right is to the side, hands on the hip crease, and this time we're leaning forward. And just go where until you find a good stretch. And then inhale, come back up, and then just bring that leg back. Let's shake everything out. So I'm going to throw in a little Thai yoga massage. So we're going to do our hands. I'm coming closer just so you can see. So there's all kinds of names, but in Thai yoga, it's called sen lines. So there's like lines that go from the heel of the hand, this is the foot too, all the way up. So we're going to just take your thumb towards your pinky, and you're just going to do, trying to get close so you can see, just gentle pressure, kind of like an upward pressure, right till you get to that crease in the hand, and just can do like a little circle around it. And then start back at the heel of the hand. Now we're going to do that same pressure, but towards the ring finger. And you decide on the pressure. When I give someone this, it's different, but when it's you're doing it for yourself. And then the same thing at the heel of the hand, and you just decide how much pressure you need. And when you get to that, this is really good if you have arthritis or just stiff joints in the morning. And then heel of the hand, again, towards the pointer finger in a little circle. And then kind of the meat of the thumb here, same thing. This is where you'll feel a lot of pressure. And another one that you can do, sort of hard to do it this way, but you take your pinchers and just pull, and you can just see wherever you need to. So those of you that know me, I get migraines, and I do this, and if you have a lot of pain there, you try to take it and squeeze it as hard as you can take, if you have a headache, and sometimes it helps. I do this with the kids, and like in 3 seconds, they're like, it worked. I think it's psychosomatic for them, but who cares? It worked. All right. The other one is you take your thumb. We'll start on the pinky, and you're kind of making like circles on your finger, and then go to the knuckle, and then in between the knuckles, and then the next knuckle, and then when a little pressure on the fingernail, and if you can, it's called a click. You just kind of pull it. So, and then just do the same thing on the ring finger, the knuckle, and then in between, and then the middle knuckle, in between, and then the same thing, and then do that little flick. So I remember I don't get manicures anymore. I gave up mani-pedis for lots of reasons, but the one thing I loved is when they massage your hand. I used to think, can I just come in here and not get my nails done, but you could just rub my fingers. So we're just doing this on every finger, and then pull, and then pointer finger, and pull, thumb. And I mean, you can do so much just on the hands, but it's a version of reflexology. And then you can do the top of the hand, but we'll just go to the other hand, just shake it out a little bit. And then we'll do the same thing. So thumb towards the heel of the hand and the pinky, and we're just pressing up. And then when you get there, just give a little circular motion, and then just go up each finger. Sometimes you can feel like little, crunchies. It's I think it's calcium deposits or something. And just go up each finger. It's wonderful to have someone else do this for you. someday, those of you that live nearby or come to visit me, I'll be able to do it. I need bodies to practice on. I practice on Joe, but now he kind of knows what's coming. I'm like, pretend you don't know what I'm going to do next. All right. And then we'll do the circles. So start on the pinky, start at the knuckle, and then just working your way down. And then that little flick. And then the ring finger. You don't have to hold it like I am. I'm kind of doing it. If you just want to do it in front of yourself, I'm just doing it so you can kind of see the motion of it. And then flick. And then keep going. And this is a really nice one. I showed this to my dad a long time ago. I don't know if he ever did it. But because he gets that trigger finger, I think it's called, and it helped him. And then take the meat, take your pincher fingers on the meat of the thumb, and you can just kind of feel where there's any tension in there. And that's your little Thai hand massage. So now just take your arm straight out, take your right arm, and just gently pull the fingers back. So we're not looking to touch our wrists. We're just a gentle stretch. So you'll feel it in the hand, and then the top of the forearm or the bottom of the forearm, you probably feel it. And then take the hand, press the fingers down, and then just gently pull. And now you're going to get that stretch across the top of the hand. And then make a fist and just circle it one way and then the other. Shake it out. And then we'll do the same thing on the other hand. So left hand out. Stop in the name of love. Just kidding. Pull it down or back. Didn't you ever do that when you were a kid, sing that song? And then push the hands, fingertips down. And then just shake it out. Oh, sorry, do some circles both ways. Shake it out. All right, we got head to toe. So now let's stand up in front of our chair. We're going to do a little bit different version of triangle today. So your right foot's going to be sort of in the middle of the chair, and you can kind of adjust it. Left foot is back. So reminder, the left toes are forward and the right toes are turning towards the right. Check in with the hips. So the chair is actually behind you today. So it's a little bit different pose. So I'll show you what we're going to do so you kind of have an idea. When we go into triangle, we're just going to use the chair behind us. And I was thinking this might help with the opening of the shoulders a little bit more. But before we get there, hands to the hip crease. And all I want you to do, first of all, is check that your hips are forward. Shoulders are stacked right over the hips. And then just leaning to the right, the left hip juts out. Just leaning and finding your edge here. So if you find yourself starting to let that left shoulder come forward, back off of it a little bit. The right leg is straight but not locked. And just finding the strength it takes just to hold this. And then take a little bend in the knee to come up. And then straighten the knee up again. So inhaling, exhale, stretching to the side. Bend the knee and come up. Straighten the leg. So this time we're going to take the hand to the chair. So inhaling, exhaling, and then take the hand to the chair. So it's not as deep, but it's this way you'll feel the stacking of the shoulders. So when I say stacking of the shoulders, if I'm here, you're thinking of the left shoulder right over the right shoulder. And you can keep the hand on the hip just to feel that opening. Press the hips forward a little bit, especially the right hip. If you like, take the left arm straight up. Now, options for the head are to look down at the toes Look straight out, or you can look up at the hand if the neck allows. If that feels yucky on your neck, then don't do it. Bend the front knee, and we're going to press up to warrior two. So this is where we look over the right middle finger. Check in with your shoulders. So if you remember, we rotated the arms and then turn just the palms down to get that rotation in the arms. Look over the right fingertips. And then see if you can find the chair again for a bent triangle. So the knee is bent. Arm wherever you like. You can have it on the hip if that's more comfortable. And then from here, move back to your triangle. Straighten the leg. Take your pose. If you like a little bit deeper in a side stretch, if you take the arm over the head, you'll really feel it all along the left hip. And then inhaling up, bend the front knee, bring yourself back up. Ball all 10 toes forward. And just take a break here. So if you're comfortable, you can take a forward fold. If you'd rather have the chair, sitting on the chair to fold, you can take that. Or if you just want to fold forward, reach for the floor or a block and round out the spine. So chair or just folding forward. And then when you're ready, bend the knees, climb on up, and bring yourself back up to a standing position. And then bring the feet together, maybe shake everything out. A lot of work on the legs here. And then we'll go to the other side. So we still have our chair behind us. This time the left toes are pointing towards the left. Walk the right foot back, toes forward. So even here, just getting grounded into the feet. Imagine that you're kind of pulling your mat apart. Take the hips, make sure they're forward. Hands on the hip crease. Inhale. And then exhale to the left, right hip juts out. Press into the outside edge of your right foot. And then roll that shoulder back. Really feel the opening. And then on your inhale, coming back up. Feel the strength it takes just to move that way. Next exhale, you lean. And then inhaling back up. And this time we'll take it. Inhale, exhale, and then finding the chair, really leaning into it. And the hand on the hip or straight up. So this is called triangle. Breathe. Press the hips forward. Bend the front knee and bring yourself to warrior two, looking over the left fingertips. Really press that left knee back towards the chair. Outside edge of the right leg, pressing away from you. Press into that foot. Hips are forward. One more breath. And then lower the hand to the chair for that bent triangle. Hand to the hip or straight up. Breathing. And then we're going to keep the arms where they are, straighten the front leg. For now, we're back into triangle. Option to take the arm overhead. And then bend the front knee, and we'll just bring ourselves all the way up. All 10 toes forward. So we're going to do that same forward fold. If you prefer to be on your chair, you can sit on the chair with the legs wide and just fold forward. So the purpose here is to release the low back by rounding it. breathing. And then come up halfway, hands to the knees, flat back, press yourself up. Just take a breath. Let's keep the legs wide here. Take a breath or two. Bring yourself back, grounded. That was quite a bit of work there. And now we'll take a couple sun salutations. So dropping the hands to the side, inhaling the arms up. Exhale, hands to the heart. Either hands to the knees to come down or just fold all the way forward. Rounding. Hands to the knees, come up halfway. Hold this pose. So roll the shoulders back, press into the feet. Pull the abs in so that you're supporting, you're stabilizing your back. So even in this pose, it's pretty active when you pull the abs in and press into the feet. On your next exhale, round down. Hands back to the knees, come up halfway. And then come up all the way and take your left forearm to your left thigh. So another version of that pose we just did. So right hand to the hip, you're leaning to the left, roll the shoulder back, look over the shoulder, or raise the arm up, look up, or take it into a side stretch all the way over. Find your pose. Remember, it's your yoga. Do what works for you, what feels right. And then wherever you are, we're going to take the hand to the knee and round down again, forward fold. Hang out there for a breath. And then we'll take the other side. So hands to the knees, half lift. And then right forearm to the right thigh. Left hand to the hip. Opening up. Look over the left shoulder. Stay there. Or take the arm up and look up. Or arm over the head. Inhale the arm back up. And this time, let's just bring ourselves right back up to seated. Take the hands to the heart. Take a breath. Open the eyes, lower the hands. So we're going to do that same thing with some other options. Take it or leave it. So here we go. Inhaling up. So the option is to bring hands to the prayer or take that swan dive and take yourself all the way down. Hands to the knees, or maybe your hands are on the fingertips for a flat back. And then exhale, fold. Bring the hands to the knees. So we're going to the left again. Left forearm to the left thigh. Right hand to the hips. Same pose here. But here's the option. So you can keep your left hand on the hip and extend the right or left arm out. So now you got to use your core to hold you up. You can take the arm overhead if you like. And if you really want to challenge, you take the left arm to the side and it's like you're holding a beach ball. This is work and it's not easy to talk in this pose. So if you're trying it, you'll get it. Otherwise, just stay right here and feel where your body is in space. And then lower all the way down, forward fold your way. Inhale halfway. Now we're going to the right. Right forearm to the right thigh, left hand to the hip. Stay here. You know the arm positions. If you like, you can take the right arm and reach it out. Maybe the left arm comes up. play around with the different ways and notice how just taking the arms out in a different way changes the workload. We can take it to the side. And then come on out of that. And this time we'll come up all the way. Heel toe your feet together. And sitting on your chair, hands to the heart. Take a few breaths. Try to bring yourself back. My heart rate's a little high, so I'm trying to slow down with my breath. Okay. And then opening the eyes if they're closed and just coming back down. So we're going to take pigeon pose. So if you like to use the strap for the pigeon, you can take that. Otherwise, we're just going to, you can grab behind, let's do this one first. Grab behind your hamstring, the right hamstring, and then just drop the leg into the hand. A reminder, you can take a strap and do the same thing. But if you're using the strap, you don't get the stretch in the upper back. So just whatever way that you can do it. And just get that stretch there. Feel the heavy leg. And then if you can, pull the leg up towards the right knee. So we've done a lot of work in the hips and the hip creases. So you might have a little bit more mobility. You might not. You can also always take the strap if you need a little leverage there. Feels kind of nice. Either way, from here, we're going to take the right foot on the left knee. And a reminder, you can always take it across the ankle, or if you have a block, you can place it on the block. If you can bring it all the way up, great. So find your pose, flexing the right toes, sitting up tall, gentle pressure on the right thigh. So theoretically, we're trying to get this to be parallel with the floor. So you should feel it on the outside, like the cheek there and the outside hip. Just sitting up tall first. Now, if this is enough, stay right here and just try to see if you can breathe into this pose. If you feel like you need more, you can just gently lean forward with a flat back. Very small movement, and it changes it completely. So just play around with that option of leaning forward. And the more you go, the deeper the stretch. If that hurts your knee, then keep it down low. So if you're on the block, I can't tell if anyone is, but you would just take your block here and have it here and do the same stretch. So I'm holding this longer on purpose to try to, it's a huge muscle. We hold a lot of tension and emotion in our hips. So see if you can release it. Maybe moving in and out of the fold forward. And this is the yin version of this is called swan. And sometimes it's like you'll hold this on the floor 3 to 8 minutes. And it sounds awful, but when you get out of it, it's almost like this rush, like, oh, this amazing release. I'm not going to make you hold it that long today, but something to think about. Keep breathing into it. And it's nice to have the support of the chair so you can just focus on one part of the body. And then we'll come up gently. If you're fold forward, wherever your leg is, just take it off of your knee, shake it out if you need to, wiggle it around. And then we'll take the other side. So the first pose, if you can, is hands under the hamstring. You can also take the strap. So here we're getting the upper back and shoulder stretch, just letting that leg be heavy. Still sitting up tall. And then start to bring the knee in towards the left armpit. You can do it here. You can do it here. You can do it with the strap and pull your leg up. So either way is fine. And then when you're ready, placing that foot on the right knee, same thing here. Sitting up tall, flex the toes, gentle pressure on the left thigh. See if you can find release. Sometimes I just move my hand in different spots. If your knees are cranky, again, keep it down low. Try to breathe into that space. And if you do need more, you just simply lean forward. And the interesting thing to pay attention to is both sides won't be the same. For example, for me, this side is super tight and I'm feeling I need to be a little gentler on this side. You always hear us say, listen to your body. That's what I'm talking about. It's not going to be the same. Almost nobody's going to be the same on both sides. Same with balance, same with strength. So keep breathing into that right or left hip. Just gently moving however you need to find, we call it the edge, you know, it's that you don't want pain. If you're hurting, then come out of it. That is not the goal. The goal is to just open up and stretch, lengthen the muscles. And this is a big muscle. So if you're a big walker or runner, bike rider, those kind of exercise, if you're on the treadmill a lot, you're probably got a lot of tightness there. So this is a good way to balance out strength and flexibility. Keep breathing into it. And then very gently coming up. Take the leg off. And I just looked at the time and I have like this whole cool sequence I came up with that I'll share with you Friday since we're running out of time here. So we're going to take a gentle twist. So we're going to stay upright on our chair today. Inhale both arms up. So drop the shoulders. So the tendency is kind of to lift up the shoulders around the ears. Drop the shoulders and just turn to the left. And when you get there, drop the right hand to the outside of the left knee and then the left hand behind you. And then just looking over the left shoulder. And you decide how deep do you want to go into this twist. Try to keep the shoulders level. Again, you can look further with the eyes. And then we're going to unwind by bringing the arms up. Keep the body to the side. And then exhale, bring yourself back to center. And lower the hands. Take a breath. On your next inhale, rising up. Plug the shoulders down. On your inhale, lifting. On your exhale, twisting to the right. Left hand to the outside of the knee, right hand behind you. And then use the chair to find your twist. Use your breath to release the low back. And then keep the body where it is. Bring the arms up. Bring them back to center. And lower them down. And it is time for Shavasana. So take your position if you like the floor, laying on the floor, sitting on the chair. legs up on the chair. I'm going to take that pose today. So if you're using a chair, a blanket is nice. As long as you know you can get back up. So all I'm going to do is get as close to the chair as I can, place my calves on the chair, scooch in, lay down. I don't know if you can see me, but just find a position that if you're choosing this pose, it's a really good one with the legs elevated. It's still an inversion. Lay the arms right next to the body, palms up. If you're staying in the chair, absolutely fine. Sit back in the chair. If your legs are up, this is something you might consider if you get, you walk a lot or you're tired or you're on your feet a lot, just because what it does is it gets the blood to recirculate through the pelvic area and then all the way up to the heart, and then just kind of rejuvenates you. So wherever you are, I'm joining you today. Close the eyes. See if you can find some stillness. Find a position where you don't have to move for the next few moments. And scan your body. Is there still a place where there's some tension or tightness? See if you can soften everything. No matter where you are, you should be able to soften and release and let go. Relax your breath. So now it's just natural breath, no work. And I'll bring you back with the sound of the bell. So wherever you are, find your way to seated. If you're already in a chair, stay there. If you're on the floor, just stay on the floor, but roll over and come up to a seated position. I think I went a little longer today. And we'll drop the hands to the side of the hips wherever you are. Inhale, bringing in goodness and light, positivity, peace, and joy. Bring the palms together and down to the heart. And if you decided to set that dedication or an intention, bring it back to yourself. And we thank all of you for being here and sharing your time, your energy, and your spirits. And I wish you health, happiness, and peace. Namaste.